Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode in this development log of CreoScape. This is video number 5 I think now. I've done quite a bit since last time. The first noticeable thing is I've changed the music, but this is just stock music that I found on YouTube. So I've just downloaded it and put it in. So obviously it's going to change at some point. But this is the type of music that I want for the game. Some other changes I've done are, if I press E to open up the inventory, I've added in shovels and I've added in all the different types of pickaxes. So we've now got wood, stone, iron and diamond of both pickaxes and shovels. And I think I've fixed all of the glitches. Just as I say that, I've replicated. I've been trying to find this fault for ages and I couldn't find it again. For some reason, whenever I move one of these, it pops up over here. I don't know why it's doing it. It's only it only seems to be the shovels. I'll show you the mining speed to these. I've just deleted the wooden shovel, so you'll have to miss out on that one. So this is the wooden pickaxe. You can see it shows up wood here, and you also get the wooden icon at the bottom near the mouse. And if you change it to stone, you get the stone one, and then iron, and then diamond. And this is the mining speed. You can't actually mine grass with the pickaxe. You have to use the correct tool. So I'll go over to the shovel. The shovel and the pickaxe mine at the same speeds for the same tool type. So if it's a stone shovel, it'll mine the same speed as a stone pickaxe. You might notice I've changed the graphics. I've been messing about with this seamless texture generator that I've been finding online, and I've just been creating little like mud textures, and it just, I don't know how it works, but it just makes it into a seamless texture. I think it looks pretty cool. So this is the stone shovel. I put a slight fade on the breaking animation, how it cracks the blocks. And then if we go to iron shovel, mine's a bit faster. It doesn't actually give you the blocks yet, that's the next thing. And then a diamond shovel. I might speed this one up slightly. Let's dig down to the stones. I forgot to mention, I've also added sound effects on the footsteps. So, on this dirt here, there's a slight footstep sound effect of the dirt as he walks. And if I dig down to the stone, you can hear the footsteps there. It's coming along well though now. I've got the tools in. I still need to fix this. I don't know what's going on there, because it's not actually moving. Like, I've only got one diamond shovel, it's not moving that to there, it's just creating a new one. And I have no idea why. It just seems, I seem to have fixed it for the pickaxes, but it's just the shovels. Look at that now, now it doesn't do it. What is going on? Oh, let's put that back. Okay, so it seems to be whenever if I move that? Is it if it's in this one? What is going on? Now that one's not. That one's, but that one's not. Hang on, if I. So I'm guessing now this one will not do it, but these two will. So there seems to be like it seems to be related to the position of these. So all four would give you the error. So that's all got the error. And this one would have it as well. But if I move, say, the second one, then that one will have the error, that one won't. That is really weird. And now these two will, that one won't. Can't work that one out. What if we put these at the same thing? These don't do it. These do it. What if we move that? It's I can't work this out. What if we swap these around? Stuff like this always pops up in game development. Right, so is this gonna do it? No. Is this gonna do it? No. Oh, it's so confusing. What is going on? Anyway, that's for another time. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I've increased the brightness of the level slightly. Again, because I felt like the shading was a little bit too dark on this outer wall on this side of it. Oh, something else I've also done. Instead of just using one block, when I was creating these blocks, I just made an object of a cube, and then I stretched the cube to make the depth of it. But what that was doing was, when I was texturing with this texture, it was. Let me go to the top. You might be able to see it better on the dirt. When I was texturing with this texture, it would stretch that all the way across, so it would look stretched. And in the previous videos, you might be able to see that. So the way I've done that now is I've created the block the same, but slightly smaller, so it's not got the same Z depth. And I've scaled the texture, so it scales 8 times. So it stays as cubes all the way. So that size block there is the same all along the 8 times. So it just looks like that on the sides. You can just see it there. And I've had to add a limb to each block and place it right at the front, just so that this doesn't scale as well. So it keeps the texture at the front exactly how it was. It's all looking good. I'm really happy with the textures at the moment. It's very basic because I'm not the best artist in the world, and I don't claim to be. It does the job. Let's have a look down here. I don't know what I should do, like if you try and use the shovel on a stone, it should make a sound effect. But I don't really know what to do there. Oh, it should put a cross. Maybe I could put like a red cross next to that shovel icon on the mouse. That might work. That footstep sound plays when you hit the floor from a jump as well. There's still a lot of work to be done with this interface, I think. I also want to put see how I've got the durability of the tool here. I want to put that in a little bar along the bottom, similar to Minecraft. Because at the moment, I only realised this before, but when you look at the inventory, you can't see which tools are like worn out. It only shows up when you have the selector thing over it. I've created a list of things that I need to do whenever I'm adding a new object in. So, like next time I put some new items in, it should go a bit quicker because I know what I'm doing now. Like the code is like quite all over the place. I'm using software called Dark Basic Pro to code it, and mainly because it's the only one I know. I'm not like an actual game developer. It's just something I do as a hobby. And I've not really had the time to learn any other coding thing. In fact, I'll show you a bit of the code now. So this is just the media that I'm loading up. I've got everything, like this is the main loop. So if we start here, I started it with Craft Life as the name. And then that's just slowly evolved, mainly because I found another game called Craft Life. Okay, so this is just like, this is telling you like how to set up the game at the beginning. So the global values is this page. It's just setting up all the values for certain variables. And then we're setting up display screen. It sets the display up based on what you have your desktop set as. So if your desktop is in 1080p, then the display is going to be 1080p as well. This is where I've created this little function where it gives you tools. So if I go to my notes page, there's my new item checklist. So as you can see here, the item numbers, I've listed all the items with a number, and I'm going to use this all the way through. So say I wanted a diamond pickaxe, that's item number 8. So all I have to do is just type in give player and then 8, which is it shows you here, item slot. Oh, hang on, no, that's yeah. No, that's a different thing. So the give player, this is the item number. So 8 is the diamond pickaxe. 1 means one of them. I've set a maximum for 99 on each slot. And 13 is the item slot, the inventory slot. I keep forgetting. I have to keep going into the actual function and work out what it is. If you set this to 0 though, this item slot number, it'll just find the closest free slot. What else have we got here? So this is the main loop. And then I'm just using functions to send, like, to control everything. So WT is like is an in-game timer. I don't know why I call it WT, but I always do it on everything that I program. And basically that just, if WT is, like you can see it here, WT equals 20. So all that does is if WT is greater than 0, then decrease WT. And that's just like for anything, like if you press a button, it won't be constantly doing it all the time. There's like a little delay. I'll just go through some of these. This is the controls page. I'll just close all the functions. So all the mouse controls are here. That's the mining function. Dev mode is the text that you see in the top left corner. That only appears in dev mode. So you can switch this on and off in the game by pressing a button. Player control. So this is like when you're moving, WASD keys. Tells you how to control it. Your jump function. And I'm using raycasting for the collision. I don't know how that's going to work though with like things like stirs, because at the moment I'm just checking for if there's a block to the right or left of him, then you can't move. But if there's stirs, then I need to sort of slide up it, so I'm going to have to try and implement sliding collision at some point. But I think the raycasting will work fine for stuff like sealing and just like stopping like falling when he jumps. Well, it's going to show you. I've got another one here for core game functions. So this is all the like random functions that you see. Hide off-screen objects. This is to make it run at 60 frames per second. I'm trying to find a better solution for this though, because I don't want to be counting from 5 to 20,000 every single loop of the game. I can't think of a better way to do it. If you know, then let me know in the comments. I've got a little loading screen on that. It's just a very basic one. It's all the same graphics from the old versions of it. Find ground for an object. This is when I'm placing the trees at the start. So the trees just get placed at the very top of the level, and then they fall down into place until they hit the ground. And that's just the function to find the find the ground. Can't speak today. And basically, if it doesn't find ground once it's been moved down by 32, then it'll just jump back to the start and try again. Music playlist. I did have a little playlist of my own songs, but I've got rid of that and I've just put in the stock music. This is to generate a random number, like from one to another one. So you could put random 10 to 12 and it'll just randomly pick a number. Because the built-in one for Dark Basic Pro it's just random number and then up to a number. So it's always not up to whatever number you put in. And it's quite annoying. Whereas this one you can do like 100 to 110. Give player a block. Alright, so that's the give player function I was talking about. Yeah, so give player and then item number, amount, and then which slot. If it's 0, which is this section here, then it'll find the nearest free slot. And if it can't find the free slot, it goes to here. I mean, it jumps to the, so no free slots, it'll just skip out this bit of code. Group names, that's mainly for like the dev screen where it shows you the stats. I've not really found the use for that one yet. Tool group, so pickaxes are always group 2, shovels are always group 3, and this is used for determining if it's the right tool for the job. So if you're using a tool of group 3, then you can only mine certain materials. It's just quicker than like going through every single tool. Instead of doing 4 different things like shovel, pickaxe, I don't know, what else have we got? Axe, and I don't know, sword. Then I'd have to do a single code for all of them things. Whereas if I just group them all into a group, I can just say if it's this group, then do that. Tool types, this is pickaxe, shovels, and stuff like that. So tool types are the material of the tool. So wood, stone, iron, or diamond. Whereas tool group is the type of tool. A little bit confusing, but it works. That's the new footstep function I've just added. So I'm just checking if I'm checking for the object that's below the player by raycasting from the player down to below him. And what I'm doing there is, so this is saying if there's a block there, then check the object group. 3 or 4 is grass or dirt. I think 3 is dirt group, 4 is grass group. Then play the sound effect for that material. And if it's 1 or 2, group 1 or 2, which is stone or the very bottom level, then play 10 and 11. On screen text is just the text that you see at the very top of the screen near the inventory. On this page as well, you can see the XP bar and the health bar. And this is just pages where I'm going to make all the characters. So all I'm doing to make the character is just paint. I'm just creating a 2D object, so a plane, which is 2-dimensional, and I'm just texturing it with the image. The thing with a plane is I can paste it in 3D, whereas if I use the sprite, I can only paste in 2D. And this is where I make all the blocks. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically just making every single, like just one of every block. And then if I show the create world function, so this is, say like the stone, you can see here I'm instancing an object, which means that I'm sort of copying that stone block. So instead of just creating loads of different objects, I just create one and then I use all the same information from it. So it's a bit more like forgiving on the CPU. Because it just makes one copy of all the information rather than like thousands. Same for dirt, grass. This is how I'm making like the caves and stuff. I'm just making a sphere object at a random size, and I'm just positioning it randomly in the world. And if it hits any of the bricks or blocks, then it just deletes them. And then afterwards I delete that sphere object. And I do the same along the very top, just to give a bit more like definition of the grass, so it's not flat. And then I'm placing trees here. I didn't copy the tree. I used to have it. I used to have the tree in here, I had it there, and then I was trying to copy that tree and place it, but it didn't really work. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe if you want to follow more of this game development.